someone was talking about the Luchadores. That I picked one up for I think 0.09 ETH. It's another cool project that I was looking at, and this is the challenge that we're seeing right now with a lot of these projects is, do you want to invest in the project, or do you want to invest in ETH and keep that ETH? And so I think people need to be really wise in the short term in terms of what they're doing. I think it's a pretty cool project. Right now, the gas fees are pretty expensive, or they were when I was looking at it a few hours ago. I don't know. I haven't checked it in just a little bit, but that's definitely one of those fun projects. We've been eyeing it. Once again, no affiliation. I bought one of the Luchadores just because I was born in the Southwest. I thought it was a cool project. One of the things that really got me excited about that project is it's 100% on contract, which I think is unique. That they had to do the entire graphics, all the movement, and everything else under 24 kilobytes. So it's a pretty cool. It costs right now. It would cost 114 to mint a Luchador, and the gas fee of that would be $61. So 50% in gas fees. So it's definitely a cool project. We're keeping an eye on it. I think it's one of those fun projects that, depending on the utility, when we think about, one of the things that I loved about the Bored Ape Yacht Club is the fact that you got access through the MetaMask to a private club and the bathroom that you could put graffiti on. And I think that in the near future, we're going to start seeing a lot more of the utility components around these types of things. And so that's an exciting thing for me to see. And Mike, your background is stronger in this type of stuff than mine. What are you seeing from some of the ideas from the utility, the Gary V's VeeFriends, but then also the Bored Ape Yacht Club? Where do you see this being exciting?
Well, utility is definitely, I think, a differentiator. So and I'm always going to kind of bring it back to the crypto roots, but you still see articles in the paper today about, BTC isn't really a real thing. It's just people's value. It's like gold. It has no, granted, gold has a small amount of industrial utility, but it's like gold. It's just shiny and it has no real value. So it's really not different from fiat currency because, the value of the dollar is you can pay tax with the dollar, which is barely really a utility in the real economy. But I think, Ethereum has kind of proven, and this is why I kind of, I'm definitely an Ethereum fanboy and make your own investment decisions. But for me, the fact that Ethereum really does have true utility, you can collect interest, you can make interest on your money via the platform itself through staking on ETH2. You can use it to buy artworks and even stuff like Gary V, where it's passes to his VeeFriends thing. You can you can make your own smart contracts to do lots of things. Like you can wrap bitcoins in it. You can do lots of other awesome things with those smart contracts. So to me, kind of Ethereum kind of created this idea that it's not a currency for the sake of just people's impression of value. It's also something you can do something with it, and the value comes from that true intrinsic value. So I'm personally a believer that Ethereum might be mostly extrinsic or whatever the word is, value. Ethereum is definitely intrinsic value. When these Nifties, which of course are built on top of Ethereum, which is super awesome, it's like a self-perpetuating device at this point, but when the Nifties also add on their own utility component to the little piece of artwork you're holding, that's just super awesome to me. And so I do really like this project that they kind of are trying to push the animation concept. Like one of the things that I think these projects are really trying to wrestle with, but can't quite nail yet, is getting kind of beyond the avatar or offline usages. Like Gary V was definitely utility for sure, and that was the coolest thing about VeeFriends. But it's utility outside of the digital realm, and so I think everybody talks about digital natives and stuff, but I think pushing that digital native utility forward is really cool kind of goal for these projects. And that's where I think like apes is cool, because it is truly, you buy the ape and now you have some new digital thing you can do that's actually implemented. A lot of the projects, and even though it's very simple, it's just a little bathroom, and you get to do like a pixel every whatever minutes or whatever. It's a utility out of the box. I think that's kind of like, that's the next frontier of these nifty projects, is like, I don't just want the promise of utility. I've seen some that promise, like there was that crypto key thing where it was promising like, we're going to get you something special in every new project that comes. But like, what does that mean? Like, are you going to get me a hat in some game I'm never going to play? Or are you going to get me, I don't know, like, that's just a promise of utility. I want tangible utility that I can enjoy now. So stuff like even the Luchadores, how it has the animation, makes it a little bit of a step ahead. I think the real frontier is getting stuff like the Bored Apes to the next level, where it's like, here's an actual immersive experience that I can do in the browser straight via my access via MetaMask or something like that.
Yeah, I think that, one of the things for these projects is there's two pieces for me that are excited from a utility standpoint. I think, VFriends hit the nail on the head with the access to VCon. What's interesting about the Bored Ape Yacht Club is, when you think about some of the merch that they're going to have high-end, hats, they're going to have high-end t-shirts and those types of things that are only going to be sold behind the MetaMask login. And so I think like that component's really cool. It's that exclusivity piece. But they also talked about some of the gamification features, where once you're behind the MetaMask, do you have access to, a DJ booth or private lo-fi music? Do you have access to some of the wild ideas they were having in Clubhouse are like, can you make a Donkey Kong Country clone? And your ape is now your access point, and your ape will look like the ape that you've purchased. Can you have a little mini 8-bit luchador wrestling game that's doing something behind that login? So a lot of those gamification components for me are what gets me pretty excited.